All right. So I think as a mother, as a parent, it's very important to know what we are doing and the understanding of why something is chosen, why are we doing any act. So that's the reason I want all of you also to understand from where we are coming, as in what is the scripture that we are choosing and why are we focusing on that particular scripture. Right? We'll start with the first question that I had put up. What really is a mantra? I'm sure all of you have some idea, being Indians. Mantra, the word itself comes from two concepts. One is manaha and tra. Now, manaha comes from contemplation, thinking, mind. And tra has different connotations: protection, tool, instrument. It can also mean something that transcends. So, if you put together, mantra means something that protects the mind, something that is an instrument for the mind, something that can transcend the mind also. That's the basic meaning of mantra. Now, mantras are sounds, as in they're actually vibrations, but for us, they translate as sounds because we are not sensitive enough most of the times to feel the vibrations, but we can definitely hear the sounds. And sound is associated with the tattva, with the element of akasha or space or ether, right? And space, the quality is the guna of the space is 100% potential. It's pure sattva. In Sanskrit, it's pure sattva. And when something is pure potential, it is not doing anything. It's just present. It's just there. Now, mantras originate from this potential, this 100% potential. And you would have heard the concept of Beeja Mantras, right? When we attach that Beeja to the mantra, that is Beeja Mantra. Now, these Beejas are seeds. Seeds, think of seeds like something that carries the potential. Imagine a seed, it looks very dry on the outside, looks very lifeless, looks like what is happening. It's just a rock, it's just a small pebble. But when the seed is sown into the soil by the gardener, when the conditions are right, the soil has to be moist, there is sunlight, there's carbon dioxide, there are nutrients, and the gardener just waits with the faith that one day it will germinate. And when the time, the space, all of that comes together, it germinates. The seed that look like nothing sprouts, and then leaves come out, and then it becomes a plant, and then it grows into a tree and can give flowers and fruits, right? It carries the potential of becoming a tree. It carries the potential of bearing fruits. And sounds, the mantras that we are going to chant, are like those seeds. And as parents, we will be gifting these seeds not just to ourselves, but also to our babies, because babies don't have a mind. We addressed this in the previous session. They don't have a mind, but they can sense vibrations. They are in the zone where we communicate, where we bond with them only through vibrations. So we are gifting these seeds to the babies. And as gardeners, we just wait for the conditions to be right and allow these seeds to grow into trees, allow these seeds to bear fruits. Okay, and what kind of seeds are we sowing? Mango trees, apple trees, what trees do we want our children to have? That's where the guidance from the scriptures come. Because me as a human being have a lot of limitations. But we want to give the seeds that are universal to the child, not affected by my limitations. And hence we take the guidance. And why specifically I have chosen the Lalita Trishati Stotram is Lalita Mahatripura Sundari is somebody who moves the space. As in, she, like Lord Shiva represents the potential, the sattva, the 100% potential. And only when Devi comes into existence is when the potential is put to work. I think we had this question that, when does the sperm and the egg meet? There's exchange of the DNAs that happen, right? And then the DNA of a new human being is created in the cell. But when does this cell actually start functioning? When does it start the chemistry? When does it convert into life? Is the big question, right? That can only happen. Knowledge is pure sattva. It's 100% knowledge, 100% potential. When the energy of Devi comes in, is when this cell starts dividing. Life enters with Devi. Okay. And she represents the mother. She is like the mother of creation. We are all her subdivisions. The templates, all of them occur from her. And she represents the entire universe itself. It's very difficult to imagine something that is infinite, something that is full potential, something that represents creativity, something that represents uh, aspirations and dreams and all that. But if we were to design, if we were to draw creativity, then it would look like Lalita Mahatripura Sundari in all her iconographies, right? If you count, she's sitting on Lord Shiva. She has this big stage for herself, and there is Saraswati on one side, Lakshmi on one side, and there's Brahma, Vishnu, and there's Kartikeya, there's Ganesha, and all the other beings that are around her. They are not just calendar art. The concept, the vibration of Lalita Mahatripura Sundari has been represented like that art. It's a blessing that we have from our rishis, that we have the Puranas to guide us through. And that picture, that image, when you think, that beautiful color combination and the beautiful beings that are around her represents Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, the concept of creativity herself. She is the mother of all beings, and hence Lalita Mahatripura Sundari. Also, why Lalita Trishati Stotram? The most famous, in fact, in South India, the most famous verse or the stotram of Sri Lalita Mahatripura Sundari is Lalita Sahasranama. These 100 names of Sri Lalita Mahatripura Sundari. But why Lalita Trishati Stotram? Lalita Trishati Stotram has 300 names of this Devi. And I will share the audio with you. I will share the video probably. And if you see, they are structured in a very mathematical format. The first 20 names start with K, the next 20 names start with A, and then the next 20 names start with some other letter. Okay, why this is structured like this? Because the inspiration comes from this Panchadashakshari mantra or Panchadashi mantra. It's called that. These are all mantras in the Tantra zone. Okay, they come from the Tantra, and I was given access to these. It's not that everybody gets, the mantras have to come into your being. It's not like you go in search of them and you'll get them. It's not like you read in a book and then they become a part of you. No, even if the book has to come into your being, even if you have to see the mantra, you need the grace of Devi. You need the grace of your gurus. So I was blessed through my guru, and I received this mantra. We are not going to go into mantra initiation. If we are blessed enough, it will come to us. I believe in that. I have that faith. Lalita Trishati Stotram, however, is a beautiful stotram where we venture into, and we have access to all her names in the format of the Panchadashakshari mantra. Okay, so 15 letters are there, and these 15 letters are the Beeja Mantras of Lalita Mahatripura Sundari. Okay, and what do these Beeja Mantras carry? I have put up in the poster, right? The concept of creativity, concept of blessing, concept of learning potential, concept of love, concept of acceptance, concept of anything under the sun that you believe your child needs. All of this is coded into these mantras, and hence the Lalita Trishati Stotram. And finally, coming to creativity, the concept of creativity. Today, what we are going to dwell into is creativity. Creativity commonly is something that has got to do with art, right? But as parents, imagine what we are doing. Forget parents, even as human beings. When we were first just that one single cell, we had to divide and become two, and then four, and then eight, and then blast off, right? Creativity, by definition, is creating something that is not existent. Okay, from non-existence to existence basically is creativity. I know it might sound something very weird, but there was one cell and the second cell did not exist. And we divided, like this one cell divided into two cells and brought into existence the second cell. So we are creating ourselves. That is creativity. And as parents, it is important that you create your child, right? You're co-creating the destiny of your child. You're co-creating a life inside you. You're co-creating a life within your family. And this creativity is happening inside us every single day. Cells divide, cells multiply. We are creating thoughts, we are creating ideas, we are creating recipes. Open the fridge and cook with whatever exists in the fridge, right? That also is creativity. So we are going to dwell into the concept of creativity, and we are going to take blessings from the mother of creativity herself. Everything is born through her, right? So these are simple concepts that I converted. The stotram, the names were converted into something that is useful for us. So knowledge, as I mentioned, is pure potential, and that has got no use at all. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if the knowledge is not put into action, then there is no use of that knowledge, right? That's why the knowledge, when converted into something meaningful, something useful for us, becomes that tool, and we are going to use that tool today, and that tool is called wisdom. The knowledge, when converted into action, is called wisdom. Okay, so I've taken the names and I have converted into something that is useful for our baby. That is the concept that we are using today. The Trishati Stotram starts with Kakara Rupa Kalyani, Kalyana Gunashalini, and a lot of Kalyana, Kalyana, Kalyana comes into that piece. So Kakara, the word K, the letter K, it is the first consonant in all Indian languages, right? Sanskrit and Kannada or Hindi. It's the first consonant that represents the creativity, using which all the other consonants, it's the foundation on which all the other consonants start taking birth. Okay, that's why she is the creativity, represents creativity, and she represents the word ka. Kalyani, Kalyani as in something that is auspicious. So today we are going to start the first meditation set with the auspicious beginning. We are also giving this auspicious beginning to our child who is going to come into our world, whether into the physical realm or from the womb to the our families, our hands. Okay, I will just play something on the screen. The video is available. I'll share this video with all of you also. I want you to read what is written on that. Take your own time and read it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, as many times as you like. And close your eyes after that. Keep your hand on your heart and allow this, the words, interpret in your own ways. Okay, mantras are not something that have a rigid meaning or a rigid definition. The whole point is that the tree has to take its own shape. It has to grow like how it needs to grow, rather than, we are not putting guidelines or we are not putting boundaries for it. Mantras, allow them to go inside you and allow them to take the shape that they need to shape. Okay, so use your own interpretation and keep thinking of what you have read as you do this. We will use heart because heart is the channel of communication between me and my child. All right, so I will be sharing the screen.